morning, everyone. This is Edna and Tyler Hassman and Bailey Mosiman are joining me today. So thank you very much for taking part in the 5-day challenge. I know we might seem a little far away today, but I wanted to be able to get all three of us into the picture. So today we're going to talk about negotiations, the power of negotiations, and Tyler and Bailey are going to share some of the things they learned in our classes about negotiating and give you some examples of some of the things that they've been able to negotiate with the stuff that they have going on. So first of all, again, welcome. We've got a really great turnout in the 6-figure joint venture secrets group. Post your questions. We're getting lots of really good questions in there. We're getting people reaching out to us, and this is awesome. Today, I'm also going to make an offer at the end, so stick around and hear about how you can get more information, more knowledge, and more education, and take your real estate investing career to the next level. We realized that a 5-day challenge was a bit tough for some people, but we do have, we haven't got people that have got accepted contracts yet, but we do have 4 people that have made offers and that are waiting to hear back. And there might be even one more going in today. So if you haven't done it yet, don't feel bad, just get it done. Make that offer. You know what, if it wasn't done in 5 days, no big deal. You've got you've got time. Just get something done, because it really helps you take things to the next level. So, okay, so I'm gonna get started. Like I said, this is Tyler Hassman and Bailey Mosiman, and they're students of mine. They started with me in about May of last year, and they're going to tell a little bit about their story about how they first got started and what made them decide to get educated before they went ahead and purchased anything. And they're doing really well. They've got a 12-unit apartment building under ownership December 1, and actually working on another 24 units that we should take possession of at the end of this month. So they got a lot going on. So, but first I'm going to talk to you a bit about negotiations. So one of the modules that we work on in the class, and it's one of the most fun modules for everyone, because what I do is I pair everybody up with a partner, and I give people an A scenario and a B scenario, and they get on the phone and they negotiate with each other. They get points for doing the proper negotiations, and they get a certain point for everything that they want. I've had many people get back and say, geez, that was so much fun. I could see myself doing that again and again. And most people go into negotiations unprepared. They don't think about anything that they even want before they go in. They just think, oh, I'm going to go check out this property. And they don't think of any of the negotiations. So one of the first things you want to do is prepare. Think about what you really want, whether it's a car, a piece of furniture, or a building. Is the price the most important thing for you? Is the possession date the most important thing for you? Is the vendor take back the most important thing for you? Like, you decide, because you know what, all of that stuff is negotiable, and a lot of it will depend on your you know, if you can get a vendor take back, then sometimes you can offer more. It just makes sense. It just means that you have less money to get from your investors, which is a nice place to be. So that's the big thing. Be prepared, go in, know what you want. Quite likely they want different things. So the power of negotiation, again, is that everybody wins. It's not, you're not a really great negotiator if you get everything and the other person gets nothing. They may take it that time, but they probably will never sit down with you again. So just know that it's not the be-all if you win everything. The deal is everybody should win. So if you go in with that attitude, give and take, get the things that are most important to you, and quite likely most of the times what's most important to them is not the same as you. Like, they might be willing to give you a vendor take back because they just don't want to manage the building anymore. They want to get out, but they don't mind because they understand real estate, so they don't mind leaving some of their money in the building just to get it sold. So keep that in mind. So you've got a lot of homework and a lot of detail about the negotiations in your homework that you can access through your member section. So instead of me going into great detail of the best way to negotiate, I'm going to let Tyler and Bailey talk a little bit about some of the negotiations that they were able to do with their 12-unit building that they bought in Mosiman. So go ahead, who wants to start?
Awesome. So I'll start out. So hey everybody, but with our 12-unit building out in Mosiman, it was brand new. It still is brand new. First tenants moved in 2015, early 2015, and when we were going out there, with the sales price and everything like that, everybody was like, oh, okay, well, it's a brand new building, you can't go in there and say, oh, we need to replace this, or maybe the boiler's gonna be the life expectancy, we're gonna have to replace that right away. We couldn't do any of that. The thing was brand new. But what we did do, we went in there, and when we got our rent roll, you gotta be very educated, and we're happily that we did. Very happy we analyzed over 250 deals, because we know that the numbers that they send to you aren't always the actuals. Even when you ask for the actuals, until you get right down into there and say, I need every single lease, I need every single thing you have, when it comes down to your tenants, it's going to be different than that. That's something we learned. So we used that to our negotiation power when they said we were making all this money and all these rooms are rented out. And next thing you know, we go in, half the building's empty, and the rents were not even at where they were saying on there. It was close, but then they forgot to include that the previous owner is paying power, paying all these utilities, and they're like, oh yeah, no, we forgot. Well, them forgetting is like an extra $6,000 we got to pay a month.
It's a big miss, because we learned that each room costs about $350 a month if we want to pay the utilities for the tenants. So if you times that by 12, it adds up really quick.
Exactly. So we really went in there and we're like, hey, well, this is where we see, because the only thing that the previous owner was failing on was good property management and really just doing good with that building, getting people in there and making sure rents were high enough. So that we really took it at that angle. When we negotiated, we said, okay, well, the numbers are not near where you say, the building's half empty. All the tenants you say is $1,200 a month, but really all of them are paying like $850, and even one's at $1,000, but we're paying the utilities and everything, so we're making probably $700. How are we supposed to even make a profit or even get by to the next mortgage payments on this building? So that was something that we really took out, and it really worked for us. So that was really our story about a brand new building. There's always something you can negotiate in. Another thing is too, a lot of seasoned or experienced real estate entrepreneurs know good negotiation as well as, Kate, well, you're going to include the environmental, new one. You're also going to have the new appraisal and all that. Because of course they'll throw that kind of stuff in when you're talking millions, and then you're talking 8 to 10 grand on that stuff. But for us, that wasn't something we thought of right away. And the next thing you know, before we're about to sign, we're like, wait, we should try and throw this in. So then we got the environmental as well as the appraisal, because you always want to get as much stuff in as possible. And it never hurts to ask, right? So every single thing you want. Because with the 90 days to 5K, when we did our negotiation with the other team members, it was awesome, because there's so much stuff that you can ask for and get in that you would never think of. That is just absolutely amazing. And also, we were just recently out there talking to a lot of the tenants. We're getting new tenants in all the time, signing new leases, upping some rents. And we'll get Bailey to talk here about, what we did just in the past couple of days, how we had to negotiate some people, get their rents higher, and get new people in as well.
Well, because in the past couple of days when we went out there, we had to raise rents, because with going through the mortgage through the bank, our average rent for the unfurnished units was a little bit low on that scale. So we went in there and we provide value. We have been providing solid management. We're going to be putting in a softer water, and we're going to be putting access and cable into all the units. So when we said that we're going to raise the rents by $100 to $200, they understood the value in that. So it's kind of like negotiation. You're like, okay, well, I'll provide you with these three things, but I'm going to need a little bit more from you. And in the long run, it's good for both sides. Like what Edna said, you don't want to just go in there and tell them you're raising it by $200 and not give them anything else. They're going to be like, there's no value. I don't see the value. So we always try to build the value in it, and it worked out perfectly. We did not have one tenant that was mad at us at all. One of our tenants, we actually stayed for 2 hours and drank some wine with him and had some cheese after raising his rent. So, you just have to be realistic, and everybody sees that what you're trying to do, and it's very easy to do. Yeah. It's not hard.
And another thing with us too is that we're out there. We're young. We are very motivated. So we said, no, if somebody is going to manage that building properly, it's us. We got that thing full now, and we just grind. But another part about the big negotiation with our building out in Mosiman is that whenever tenants call or potential tenants call and they're like, okay, well, unfurnished is $1,200 and all that, well, I can only do $1,000. Some people might be like, okay, well, do you know what, maybe $1,100 or maybe we can do $1,000 for you or something. But right away, when they ask for a discount or anything like that, right away, I go back to building my value. I'm like, hey, this is a brand new building, brand new appliances, originally built as a condo. These things are basically soundproof. You got a massive parking lot and you got great management. And I just keep on building value because they might not always see that. And once you start building all that value, then they start thinking, oh, okay. And you start by throwing little things in if they really can't bite. Like if somebody's budget, like yesterday, the guy's budget was $1,000. And of course we said, okay, well, you pay utilities, and he was good with that. And I'm like, okay, well, we can't do the $1,000, but what we can do, we'll discount it from $1,200 down to $1,100, and we'll include the access internet and cable, which is around $120 if you get it yourself, which it is out there. But for us, do we pay that? No, we pay a very, 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 very small discount or big discount on that. So we're making all this profit, yet he sees he's almost saving money there. So it works out on both sides. So I feel with the negotiation, you have to have almost like my sales manager back when I was selling cars said, you got to have the bullets in the gun. So every time they want to start negotiating, you got to just fire those off about all the value. Because some people might not see the value, or they might realize it, but not really, really realize it. So that's something that we've been doing.
And that is so true, even when you're showing your units to your tenants, and just so you know, Tyler and Bailey have chosen to manage their own buildings at the beginning because they want to get to know and understand what it's all about. Now, do you think that they're going to be able to go to their property manager when they hire one and say, I expect this, and this, and if they're not delivering it, they're going to know exactly what they need to tell that property management to change that around, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So very good idea to manage your building at the beginning, if you can. If not, that's not a big deal either. What we have done though is we've put the numbers into the analyzer to cover off the management. Whether they're doing it themselves, they should get paid for it, or whether they're hiring a property manager. I mean, it's gotta be paid one way or the other. So it's a way for you to get money on your building right at the beginning too, and very good way for you to learn. So that was excellent. Thanks so much, guys.
And it never hurts to try. Like Edna said, the money's there if the property manager, if you do realize that you can't do it. But one thing I have to say, our building is an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and we can still handle it. And this is back when we even had jobs. So we were still able to do it. Yes, you might have to go out there on a Tuesday night and leave your house in Regina at 9 o'clock and not be there until 10 or 11 and give the guy his key that he lost that day. Like, it's just, but it's a game, and if you want to succeed in it, you have to be able to put in the effort. And which me and Tyler, anything that happens, we're there. Like it doesn't matter. So it's something that you really have to be there and put all your effort into, but it pays off in the end.
Yeah, it for sure does.
Absolutely, and that's the thing that I always try to get across to everyone is you're building your equity in the building. You raise capital, but you're building that equity by all the things that you do. Now, Tyler and Bailey have really excelled at this, and that's why I'm helping them buy the next building. You know what? I have absolutely no qualms because they've been through my courses. They're part of my mastermind. Yeah. I know what I teach, and they wrap their arms around it and embrace every bit of it, and even take it to the next level. And they're doing above and beyond, and people like that will get the investors, and they'll get other people investing in them. So one of my questions to you is, when you're looking at attracting an investor, are you so committed that you will do whatever it takes, including getting out of your warm bed at 9 o'clock at night, and that was wintertime, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was wintertime.
And driving out to let your tenant in, because there's nobody else out there with the key. Yeah. That's commitment. Are you committed to doing that kind of stuff? That gives me shivers when I hear that kind of stuff, because that's the kind of commitment you need to have to become an apartment building owner. So,
and another thing too, going back to the negotiation side, is that when you are talking to investors, and they got to see your hunger and your ambition. And, you know, some of the investors that we're talking to when we're raising for Mosiman, they're like, okay, well, right now, you know, what if like you don't get it full and all that? It's a smaller town. And we start right away adding value. You know, the PCS mine out there. PCS is cheapest mine to get potash out of the ground. That's their baby. So, and they just invested $3 billion into it. So we start adding all this value and value and value, and we say we are going to get that building full. We literally guarantee it to them. Some people might be a little bit scared, but we're not, because every time when we have an empty unit or a couple empty units, we just have a big fire under us that we're like, we got to go out there and get it done. And nothing's better than telling your investors, hey, the building's full, everything's at market rents and even higher than market rents, and it only took us 3 months to get it done. And that is absolute. That builds a lot of power. So you
and
always
it's
got to
something
do
we
that.
really have to do is build value, because you guys talking to your investors might think you have issues, but we have issues as soon as we walk in the door. We look young. We are 20. Nobody, when we walk in, nobody just wants to give us $100,000. It doesn't work like that. We're young. They don't say, well, how would you know more than I know? Even though I've never done it before, but how would you know more than I do? You're only 20. So of course we tell them about our team, and like you can tell them about everybody that you work with, everything. So build value for yourself, and then tell them what you're doing and everything like that. And don't really ask them for their money. Kind of just ask them and tell them about yourself. And at the end, they're gonna ask you if they can invest with you.
Exactly.
Good points, guys. So, but I just want to see what time it is. So, okay, so like I said, you're getting a lot of information today, and this negotiation stuff is priceless, because you're not even just hearing it from me. It's that more valuable, I think, to hear from guys who didn't even meet me a year ago. It was like last April or May that we met. So it hasn't even been a year, and look how far they've come. So that's a possibility to you too. Now, how do you get to the point where they are? Well, you know what? Tyler and Bailey, if you guys go on to the 90dayto5k.ca page, you'll hear their testimonial on there on how they got started. So I'm not going to repeat it here right now, but their story is awesome. And they decided instead to invest in themselves and invest in their education. And look where they are, not even a year later. They're by the time the year comes up, they're going to own 36 units.
Yeah, 36 units and 5.1 million. Yes. By the end of the month.
Yeah.
And that was all because we got educated.
Yeah.
We didn't just hop in and try and learn ourselves. We got educated and fast-tracked our way in. Because when we were taking the 90 days 5K, we had on our, it was so funny, I was looking at my homework on the first assignment, and it said that we want to buy apartment buildings and do commercial and multifamily stuff like 10 years from now. And the fact that we're doing it now, and it still hasn't been a year since I wrote that, we just saved ourselves 10 years. So I don't even want to know 10 years from now where we're going to be.
And how many struggles we would have if we didn't take the course. If we were going to do what we were going to do, you'll hear all about it if you come to the 3-day event, and if you go onto the 90 days page there, you'll see our testimonial. If we went through that and what we were going to keep doing through that, it would not have been great. No.
And there's actually a lot of testimonials on that sheet, like everyone from 20 years old right up to 65 are having results with our program. So, check it out. If you want to do something different, if you're willing to step up and actually swing the bat, you can do well. If you're the type of person that just buys a course and puts it on the shelf, never looks at it, don't even do it, because you're not going to get anywhere. You can't get success by osmosis. But if you're willing to step up, the course is regular $5,000, and we have it on sale right now for $19.97. And if you purchase before March 27th, I'm also including a 12-week mindset course. Now, the reason I added that in is over my 90-day to 5K program, I have a full module just on money mindset, mastering your money mindset. And I've had so many people report back that was one of the best things that they learned how to do, was master their mindset. And of course, it's something we work on every single day of our lives. But I felt it was such a struggle for most people that I built it just for that reason. I've been working on mindset, and I do a lot of mindset training. And my mindset course, even inside the 90-day program, has probably got about a half hour longer from the very first time I started, because I kept getting such positive feedback from it. So for a limited time, like I said, up until Monday, if you buy the 90-day to 5K course, you get that mindset course included. And it's going to start right away in April, shortly after the 90 Day to 5K program starts, which it starts on April 4th. And at the event on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, that program is going to be offered for $997. But after that, it's going to be on the website at $1,497. And it's absolutely worth it, because as you can see with these young guys, mindset is a lot. Bailey, do you mind sharing one of the things that you said on, I think, the first video I ever watched you do, which was, if you don't...
We're on our testimonial. One thing I said was, you can't ask for don't ask an investor for money if you don't invest in yourself first. It just doesn't work. If the investor will also see that you haven't got any training, you haven't gone anywhere, so why would they give you money if you can't even give yourself money to help yourself?
Yeah, and you're putting almost, you got to realize too, being that this is about negotiation, is that when you take these courses and all this education and join these groups, you put that in there, so when investors like, oh, okay, well, you've never invested in anything, like, how do I know? You're just starting out. Right away, when you go back to negotiate that, you say, well, I actually took this course. This is who's involved in the course. This is everything I know. Ask me a question, I probably know it, and if I don't, I have somebody in my team that'll answer it for you. So it's all
about
works
a team. You have a power team, and that we your power team, like your lawyer, your accountant, your coach, your mentor, everybody. Like, it's all in our sheet about us when we give to investor. Everybody's in there. It tells them everything about our team, and we build value that way as well with our team.
Yeah.
And it's so important to have a team, because first of all, I'm going to let you know right off the bat, is getting financing for an apartment is different than houses. Yeah. And one of the things they want to know, because an apartment is considered a business. So they look at the numbers first and foremost, but they also look at the management team. And if the management team has no experience, guess what? You're not going to get the loan. So to go out even if you had the money to put down and say you had $300,000-$400,000 to buy your first building all by yourself, there's a very good chance that if you don't have a power team in place, that you're going to get declined the financing.
And we did. We got when we first tried going to get the financing through CMHC, we had all the money. We had more than enough money. But they seen about the experience, everything like that. But we told them about our team, and we brought somebody on, and that was perfect. Like, it's not that we didn't have the money, we didn't have the experience, but now with the power team, everybody like that, we're fine. Like, we're gold.
It took from going from our mortgage broker saying, you guys have the net worth. We don't have the net worth personally, but like, our investors have the net worth and everything, but there's no experience. Instead of thinking, oh no, like, what do we do? Picked up the phone, made a phone call to somebody in our power team. Probably within 10 minutes, we had them on. Next thing you know, we're getting it going. Easy as that when you have a team. But if we didn't have a team, you know how hard it would be to try and find somebody in real estate and just try and call them and be like, hey, yeah, by the way, this is me, Tyler. I invest, but I'm trying to get a building and I need you to guarantee the mortgage. Not probably going to work. So you need to have a team.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, go to www.90daysto5k.ca. Buy your course today. It's an absolute amazing course. I have got, I don't even know how many testimonials on there, and we're updating them all the time, because we have another group right now who's just finishing their last date. Their Module 11 was this Tuesday, and because Module 12 is on the night of our event, I actually am going to do it on Sunday. And of course, all modules are recorded, so if you don't make it live, it's in your membership section the next morning, so that you can pick it up, listen to it, and get your homework done. Me and my team monitor every piece of homework you send back to us. We read it from beginning to end, and we give you feedback. If you're not on the right track, or if you're overthinking something or underanalyzing something, we point you in the right direction. Each module builds on the last one, so it's an amazing course. I actually built it from my first 2 years of Mastermind, because my first 2 years of Masterminds, I started it before the course. I took everything that I learned, or everything I taught in there, and I put it into the 90-day course. So that's actually the next step too. If after you're done the 90-day to 5K program, you want to team up and be in a mastermind, there's an opportunity for that too. But when I say it's an opportunity, it's not that just anybody can get in because they got the money to pay. What it means is there's an application process. I need to know that you would be a good team member. So you've got to bring some value to the table, and you know, these young guys bring value to the table for us. They've got energy. I'm not going to go out and let a tenant in at 9 o'clock at night. I've never done that. I've always had property management, and when they told me that story, I was like, I was so proud of them to run out and just do it themselves, because I probably would have said to my husband, hey, can't you just phone somebody out there that you know and get them to run the key over?
And it's part of building as well, because when we went and raised their rent, they knew that I'm from Regina, and that last Tuesday 3 months ago that I had to run out and give them a key, they see, they're not going to complain, because they see the management that we're doing. They're like, I could have just said, not really, I can't really come out, you know, I can't really make it. Then of course they would have been mad, and then even more mad when I come back out 3 months later, tell them I'm going to raise their rent. They probably wouldn't like that at all. And the 9 days 5K, like, it isn't just a court, it's a community. Like, you get entered to go into the Facebook group, and it has everybody in there from the 9 days to 5K. Everyone's always asking questions. The team is always commenting and helping everybody out. It's like it's an actual community. It's not just a course.
That's right, and that's so important, because one of the things that I do offer with the 90-day to 5K is once you've purchased it, you've got lifetime access. So if you want to take it, or say you start to take it and you get bogged down with work commitments or children commitments in week 6, and you can't show up for the next 3 weeks, you can start over, or you can listen to the recordings on your own time. And the reason I made it lifetime membership is because I realize that not everybody's going to get as quick success. They have to build up their mindset first and foremost. And if the mindset's not there, it might take them a little bit longer. So I give you lifetime access. Also give you a full 30-day money-back guarantee, which basically says if you commit, show up for every and doesn't even have to be live, it can be recording, but I need your homework back. I need to know that you actually did your homework. If you do that, and you're not getting anything out of the course, maybe you're more advanced than that, maybe it's over your head, whichever way you want to look at it, there's a full 30-day money-back guarantee. But also know that it's lifetime access, so if you're not ready for it right now, you could be ready in 6 months if you keep working on other stuff. So there's a lot of value in that course. I haven't had one person that has said that they didn't learn a ton. So reach out, get that course today, and like I said before, if you buy it now, before Monday, we have the special $19.97. It's regular $5,000, and you get the 12-week mindset course that goes with it. So if you know you struggle with mindset, man, oh man, don't let this opportunity pass you by, because it's going to be an extra $9.97 at the event and $14.97 on the website. And it is, again, worth every penny. We actually went to Fort Lauderdale this fall, and we attended a full 3-day mindset retreat. And it was powerful. And what I learned when I went through that 3-day is that I teach everything, but I had never actually made it into a course. We talk about it all the time, don't we?
Yeah,
like
always.
Every mastermind we get together, almost every day on the actual modules that we're going through, we talk about mindset, because if your mindset's not there, you can't succeed. That saying, if you think you can or think you can't, you're right. It's so true. And you have to start thinking you can. Like, you have to start talking to yourself different. You can't beat yourself up every day and actually think that you're going to show up and be successful. You have to build up yourself first. And we show you exactly how to do that. We show you how to negotiate. We show you how to build your power team. We show you how to analyze a building. There's nothing left to figure out on your own. When you're done the 12-week course, you know more than 95% of the real estate investors out there. So there's a ton of value in there. Anything you guys want to add?
The one thing I have to add is that if you're like me, you think you already have you think you've already mastered your mindset. When I started the course, I thought, yeah, no, I'm already in. Let's go. I want to buy a building, I want to buy a house, stuff like that. In my mindset, I want to do it. But you know what? I thought I had the proper mindset. I was wrong. I was wrong. We would always talk about mindset. I'm like, hey, well, let's just learn how to do it. Well, I was wrong. I learned that your mindset is like probably 50%, and the knowledge that you learn is the other 50%. Your mindset's huge. Like it's something that I can't even stress, because if you're like me, you think, oh, I already have the mindset, you know. So that's why it's very valuable that I just throw it in the mindset course up until Monday, because you might not think you need it, but trust me, you need it.
If your life is not exactly where you want it to be in every area of your life, you need work on your mindset. Do you know that I still work on my mindset every single day? Because I still have goals. I still have aspirations. I want to get better and better. I want to reach more and more people. So I work on my mindset every day. I work on thinking bigger. And you're going to eventually do that too, because just because your mindset gets you to 36 doors doesn't mean you quit working on your mindset.
No.
Because these guys want to have, what's your 5-year goal now?
5 years, 50 million, and 10 years, 100 million. So we know we're going to exceed it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
And that's only, like, our mindset now, that's only 10 million a year. That's not hard. It really isn't. Like, we bought our first building in December 1st, and now April, we're signing another one, and we're already at 5.1. So another building or two in that year span there, that's all we need to reach our 10 million goal each year. It's nothing.
The mindset is so important. That's why once I heard that she was including it, there's everything for you. You get the 90 days 5K education, and then you get the other 50%, which is the mindset. Because we really have to work on our mindset. Our mindset is one of the most important things that we work on, next to the knowledge, because we're 20 years old. Do you know how many other things we could be out doing? Or we might say, oh, well, I don't know if investors want to invest with us. We're young. Or I don't know if we have the power to go and do this or any of that because we're young. It's like, no, we have our mindset. We work on it every single day. Thanks to all the 90-day course and the mindset course, it got us to it. We don't have anything in our way. If there's any walls, we literally just go right through them. It doesn't matter. And that's something we learn and we continue to grow on.
Yeah, so good, so perfect. So I'm going to kind of phase out a bit. I'm going to come closer to the phone and just see if I have any questions. So give me a second while I do that. And then we're probably going to sign off. You know what? It's just past 10:30. And I want to get some questions answered here if we have any. And of course, I do have to put my glasses on to be able to read them. Chandel always says to me, make sure you read the questions, Edna. Savannah says, do you show how to find the external investors, people we already don't know? Yes, absolutely. I've got different ways to talk to people. I teach you your elevator pitch, what to say to people, because a lot of people think, oh, if I just tell people that they'll earn a 25% return on their money, I'm just going to move because the light's not good, that I can get investors. Not true. If you tell people 25% on their investment, there's a good chance most of them are going to think, hey, that's too risky. That's not for me. So just know that. Drew says, you boys interested in adding another 12 units next month above your projected 36?
Yes.
Absolutely. They're all over that. So just want to say good morning to everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. This is awesome. Oh, I got a whole list of people here. Good morning, Janelle. Good morning, Ken. Hey, Ken and Janelle, we're going to see you in a few days. This is awesome. And Chandel, I haven't seen her for a while now that she's living out in BC, so it'd be exciting to see her too. Good morning, Cheng. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Corny. Corny, I hope you're going to join us. We have a lot of people asking you if those Manitoba boys are going to be there.
Corny, I haven't seen you forever. So you need to come. We'll have a beer.
They miss you. You better come. And good morning, Rob. And good morning, Savannah again. Who else did I miss here? Cheng says, can we do a refresher course for the 90-day to 5K? Absolutely. When you purchased, you have lifetime access, and the next one starts April 4th. So if you want to be on the list, just shoot me an email and I'll add you into it so that you start getting added. And I'm going to see you this weekend as well. Jeff says, are there questions I should ask a private lender so I don't mess up my chances? Absolutely. There are certain things that they're going to expect you to know there's certain ways that they're going to expect to talk to you. And you know, my background as a financial advisor is one of the key things that's got me to this point and how I can share this for people. I worked with investors for 15 years before I got into real estate. So I know exactly what to say to a private lender so you don't mess up your chances. Unfortunately, I don't have all the time to share that with you here today. So Jeff, sign up for the course. It'll be worth every penny. Chandel says she can't wait, and yes, Corny, you better get there is what she says too. So this is perfect. So yes, if any of you want to re-sign up for the 90 Day to 5K, just reach out and we'll add you in. And again, always be connecting with the people in the group, because that one of those people could be your next joint venture partner. I know these guys are joint venturing with other people in the group and masterminding with them too. So it's a great way to build your team. So goodbye, everyone. And like I said, reach out, get the course, www.90daysto5k.ca, on special right now, $19.97 Canadian. And till Monday, you get the mindset course thrown in. And I know the guys said 50%. I actually believe mindset is 90% of your success. If you don't nail that one down, you're going to be held back forever. And yes, you're very, very welcome. I hope you got a lot of value out of today. And tonight at, I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. CST, I'm going to have an open Q&A and just talk a little bit more about what it takes to build a power team, because that's one of the first things that you learn in the 90 Day to 5K course. So back at 6 p.m. CST, 8 p.m. EST, I'm not sure of all the other ones, but somebody will tell you in here. And there'll be another Facebook Live. Bring your questions. I'd love to answer them, and we'll see you all then. Take care. Bye-bye.